Now, first on the news at 6, a little more than 3 months away from the presidential election, and Vice President Mike Pence spent a few hours back in his home state of Indiana. The vice president speaking at Marian University in Indianapolis, saying students need to be back in the classroom even as we continue to deal with the pandemic. RTV6's Stephanie Wade covering Vice President Pence all day. She's live with why he is saying it's time for students of all ages to return to school. Stephanie.
Mark and Amanda, for about an hour, leaders discussed why it's so important to have students back at school. The vice president saying he wants to get them back in the classroom and back there this fall. How he plans on doing that, he says, is by everyone wearing one of these.
Opening up our schools again is the best thing for our kids. It's also the best thing for working families, and it's the best thing for moving this state and our country forward.
So it's really not a matter of if schools reopen, it's a matter of how they reopen safely.
It was the same message from all of the higher education leaders participating in today's roundtable discussion at Marian University. Dr. Deborah Birx and Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos also making the trip from Washington, D.C.
The three of us are here, Governor, to say to you and the people of Indiana, we're with you, and we're going to stay with you.
The CDC just issued additional recommendations last night for schools, teachers, and parents when it comes to testing and protecting everyone. Pence emphasizing today the need to have protocols in place on every campus and students wearing masks to get back to in-person.
That students fall behind dramatically in education. One study estimates that due to school closures last spring, the average student is going to begin this year roughly 35% behind in reading compared to a typical year and 50% behind in math. In fact, the National Education Association just recently stated that online learning is no substitute for in-person learning.
Kids aren't meant to be alone. They're social. They need to be together with other students. And parents and their children can't be held captive to others' fears or agendas.
Now, to help schools safely reopen, Vice President Pence says they've already secured $30 billion in funding, half of which to go toward higher education, the other half for K through 12 schools. Plus, he says the White House just recently requested an additional $105 billion, again, to help schools safely reopen. Reporting live, I'm Stephanie Wade, RTV6.